At a party, someone mentions a movie you both saw years ago. Suddenly you're arguing about a scene. You swear it happened one way. They swear it happened another. You can see it so clearly in your mind. The colors, the dialogue, the character's face. But here's the thing. You might both be wrong. Memory is not what you think it is. And the experiment that proved it will make you question every memory you've ever had. In 1995, cognitive psychologist Elizabeth Loftus changed everything we knew about memory. She showed people a video of a car accident. Simple, clear. A fender bender on a suburban street. Nothing dramatic. After watching it, she asked one group how fast the cars were going when they hit each other. She asked another group how fast they were going when they smashed each other. One word. That's all it took to change everything. The people who heard smashed guessed the cars were going over 20 miles per hour faster than those who heard hit. They were more likely to remember seeing broken glass that was never there. They were more likely to remember twisted metal. Details that simply did not exist in the video. This is the misinformation effect. And once Loftus understood it, she pushed further. She started asking people about events that never happened. She asked them if they got lost in a mall as a child. She asked if a certain relative visited them in the hospital. She asked if they had ever witnessed something traumatic. She could make them remember events that never occurred. And these weren't vague impressions. They were detailed, emotional, complete with feelings, sounds, and sensations. In one study, she found that 25% of people would accept a completely false event if it was suggested to them. And the more times you suggested it, the more real it became. This is reconstruction. Your brain doesn't store perfect recordings. Every time you remember something, you rebuild the memory. And every time you rebuild it, you can change details. Add things. Remove things. You have no way of knowing what's real and what's been edited. In 1975, Donald Thompson demonstrated something even more disturbing. He was studying face recognition. During his experiment, he showed participants photographs. Later, he showed them a video of a crime and asked them to identify the culprit from a lineup. One woman was absolutely certain. She identified a man. She could describe his face, his expression, his build. 100% confident. But the man was innocent. He had 12 alibis in another city. He had never been anywhere near the crime. The participant had never seen this man before. But Thompson had accidentally shown her his photograph during the earlier test. When she tried to remember the criminal, her brain used the only face it had recently seen. It invented a memory that felt completely real. This is why eyewitness testimony fails so often. The Innocence Project found that mistaken eyewitness identification contributed to over 70% of wrongful convictions later overturned by DNA evidence. People describe faces. They describe weapons. They describe clothes. They are absolutely certain. And they're completely wrong. The brain doesn't distinguish between something real and something imagined. The neural pattern is identical. The confidence is identical. The feeling of reliving the moment is identical. This is why false memories in therapy are so dangerous. When a therapist asks you to search your childhood for abuse, your brain might comply. It will generate images, feelings, sensations. You will experience them as memories. You will become convinced. And the worst part is there's often no way to tell the difference between recovered memory and constructed memory. In 1991, a case became famous. A woman named Beth began remembering abuse during therapy. The memories were detailed. She was certain. She confronted her family. Relationships were destroyed. Years later, the therapist realized the memories were false. They had been constructed, not recovered. But the damage was already done. Your brain is a storyteller. It takes fragments of information, fills in the gaps, and gives you a coherent narrative. Prioritizes survival over accuracy. It helps you make quick decisions based on incomplete information. This is why you survived on the savannah. But it's also why you can fabricate entire events and believe they're real. So the next time you remember something, ask yourself how you know it's true. How do you know you didn't imagine it? How do you know nobody planted it in your mind? How do you know your brain didn't simply fill in a gap with something that feels like memory but never happened? You don't remember your first day of school. You remember the last time you reconstructed that memory. Your earliest memories have probably been rebuilt so many times that the original version is gone. The memories you hold most dear, the ones that feel most sacred and true, might be the stories you told yourself so many times that they became indistinguishable from reality. Your brain isn't trying to deceive you. It wants you to have a coherent story of who you are. And if the real story has gaps, it will fill them in. It will create for you a past that feels true, that feels real, that feels like the absolute certainty of your own experience. But certainty is not proof. Feeling is not evidence. The most vivid memory you have could be the most fabricated of all.